Y'all, they got all you can eat pancakes at IHOP. You better jump on it. Hello, Arrows. I'm Kashawn, and you are watching The Book Archer. First of all, Happy New Year. I think this is my first video that I'm posting in the new year. And of course, I have to start the year off with my December wrap-up. I had a really good reading month in December, not for like the amount of books I read, but for the enjoyment level. So we're going to jump right into it. So the first book that I read in the month of December is Shatter Me by Tahera Mafi. This is the first book in the Shatter Me trilogy. Shatter Me follows the main character of Juliet. Juliet has the ability to touch people and like paralyze or kill them. Like she's like Rogue from X-Men type of thing. And so she cannot touch people. She's been locked away in this insane asylum for like 264 days until out of nowhere she gets like a roommate or a cellmate. After that, things go crazy. Like, I only picked up this series because Thoughts on Tomes recently read it and reviewed it and raved about it. I just trust anything that Thoughts on Tomes says. She's my fave. She didn't enjoy this first book. She loved the trilogy, but she's very adamant about the fact that she didn't enjoy Shatter Me, so I had very low expectations going in. But then I picked it up and I actually really loved it. Like, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I immediately fell in love with Tahera Mafi's writing style, and I really loved the slashing through of the words where you see what Juliet thinks versus what she actually says. I thought that was really, really cool. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for Shatter Me. The second book that I read in the month of December was another Thoughts on Tomes Samantha recommendation, and that was Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. If you are avid here on BookTube, you know that Lainey, Ginger Reese Lainey, raves about the Falling Kingdoms series all the time. Thoughts on Tomes was having a read along for it, so I picked it up. I didn't get to participate in the read along, but I still went ahead and read the book after, and I really enjoyed this. If you like Game of Thrones, this is definitely true to what people say as a YA version of Game of Thrones. It has 4 different perspectives of different people all trying to have power in this kingdom. So you get to see those different perspectives. It has like magical elements, but they're not overbearing magical elements. So if you are new to the fantasy genre and you want to get into fantasy, this book is a great introduction. I definitely will be continuing on with the rest of this series. It definitely has a lot of twists and turns throughout the whole entire story. It keeps you entertained, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. So the next book I read after that is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I finally started this series. I definitely enjoyed this. However, I did struggle a little bit with this book. I never ever read a book if I've already seen the TV show or watched the movie. I can't do it. If I've been spoiled for something, if I've seen it, if I already know what's happening, I just do not enjoy it the same. I don't. And this book would have been a 5-star book for me. I really love Rick Riordan's writing. I see what y'all are talking about. He is so funny. The story and the characters are so fun. I love Greek mythology, like all of that. But I've already seen the first 2 Percy Jackson movies. And although, of course, everybody says the books are nowhere as good as the movies, I know what's going to happen. So I had to give this one 4 out of 5 stars. It was kind of like, okay, let me get through the book so I can really get on to the parts of the series that I'm not spoiled for. Okay, so the next book that I read in the month of December is The Winter's Curse by Marie Rutoski. And I have thoughts on this and I'm not sure how to explain it. This book has been getting mixed reviews. I will see people who absolutely love it. It's like in their top 3 books that they read last year. And then I'll see somebody else give it like 3 out of 5 stars, 2 out of 5 stars. And it's just like, okay, well, let me read it for myself and decide. And I'm on the fence. I would have to say I give it 3.5 or 3.7. 3.7 stars. Overall, I enjoyed it, but there are just certain elements in here that bothered me in the first book. But I feel like the second book has potential to be like a 4-star, 5-star book. I'm going to do a review on this so I can explain further like my thoughts on this. The Winter's Curse is about a girl. She's the general's daughter, and this is like a heavily military type of, you know, scenario, and she purchases a slave at the auction in the first beginning of the book, and of course a kind of a love story starts with them, but it's so much more than that. Would I recommend this book? Yes, I would definitely read this, because I feel like this trilogy has a potential to be like an overall good trilogy, but I feel like this is kind of just like, you know, the first book had some holes in it. I will be doing a review on this very soon. I might film it right after this, so once I do film the review, I will link it down below. But overall, 3.5, 3.75. Okay, so the last book that I read in the month of December, Unravel Me by Tahera Mafi, and oh, this was so good. The second half of this was so good. I'm going to give this book 4.5 stars. I would say, yeah, 4 stars or 4.5 stars. The only reason it's not going to be 5 stars is because Warner was only in half this book, and we needed him in the whole thing. Like, oh man, I loved him in this book, obviously. I am going to be doing a review on this entire trilogy. I completed the whole trilogy, but you'll see like Ignite Me in my January wrap up. But I will be doing a review on this whole trilogy like super soon, because I just have to get my thoughts out. The only thing that I will say about Unravel Me is, if you've read Shatter Me but you haven't continued on with the series, you're doing yourself a disservice, because it really is a complete story that gets better and better. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. Alright, so those are all the books that I read in the month of December. I really enjoyed all of them. Have y'all read any of the books that I mentioned? If you have, then leave your thoughts and comments down below. And also, what are some books that y'all are looking forward to reading? I hope everybody is having a great new year. Thank you for tuning in. I'm the Book Archer, and I will see y'all in the next video.